The story begins with a haunting aerial view of a stormy London skyline, where the camera sweeps over the city toward the quiet, unassuming Malfoy Manor, its Gothic spires piercing the night like dark promises. Inside, Voldemort sits at a long table surrounded by Death Eaters, his serpentine face illuminated by candlelight, holding a wand he claims belongs to someone else, as he interrogates his followers about the whereabouts of the Elder Wand, a legendary artifact of immense power. The tension thickens as he tests his new wand on Charity Burbage, a Muggle studies professor, levitating her above the table as she pleads for mercy, only for Nagini, his massive snake, to devour her whole on his command, her screams fading into silence as the Death Eaters watch in frozen horror. The scene cuts to Harry Potter. Harry stands in the dimly lit kitchen of number 4 Privet Drive, watching the Dursleys pack to flee, their faces etched with fear of Voldemort's wrath, leaving Harry alone with his thoughts, the weight of his protection magic lifting now that he's of age. He heads upstairs, retrieving a mirror shard from Sirius Black, a bittersweet memento as the house grows eerily quiet, the Dursleys' departure marking the end of an era. Harry waits in his room, the mirror shard glinting in the moonlight, when a commotion erupts downstairs. Hedwig screeches, and a dozen witches and wizards, including Hagrid, Kingsley Shacklebolt, and Tonks, apparate in, led by Moody with his wild magical eye. Moody unveils the plan. Use Polyjuice Potion to create 6 Harry decoys, Ron, Hermione, Fred, George, Fleur, and Mundungus Fletcher, to confuse Death Eaters during a mass breakout on broomsticks, thestrals, and a motorcycle. Harry protests, fearing for their lives, but Moody insists it's the only way to evade Voldemort's tracking. They drink the potion, transforming into Harry lookalikes, a hilarious yet tense lineup with wands drawn. As they prepare, Hedwig hoots nervously, and the group takes off into the stormy night, brooms buzzing like angry bees, the plan kicking into high gear. The sky explodes into chaos as Harry rides with Hagrid on Sirius's flying motorcycle, dodging green curses from Death Eaters who've ambushed them mid-flight, their black cloaks whipping in the wind. Ron and Tonks veer off on brooms, Fred and Arthur Weasley on thestrals, while Hermione and Kingsley face a squadron led by Bellatrix Lestrange, her cackle cutting through the storm. Moody battles high above, but a curse from Voldemort himself, disguised via a Death Eater's wand, strikes him, sending him plummeting to his death, a tragic loss marked by a distant explosion. Harry's decoy, Mundungus, panics and disapparates, drawing Death Eaters to Hagrid's bike, which crashes into a forest after a wild chase. Hagrid shields Harry as they tumble, the motorcycle's sidecar blasting off, leaving them stranded but alive, the battle raging on as others scatter. Harry and Hagrid stumble into the burrow, a crooked haven glowing with warm lights, where Mrs. Weasley envelops Harry in a tearful hug, relieved he's safe. The group reunites, Ron, Hermione, and the others battered but alive, except Moody, whose death casts a somber pall. Later, Rufus Scrimgeour, the Minister for Magic, arrives with Dumbledore's will, bequeathing Harry the snitch he caught in his first Quidditch match, Ron a Deluminator, and Hermione a copy of the Tales of Beedle the Bard, hinting at hidden meanings as Scrimgeour departs, the burrow falling silent with unspoken questions. The burrow transforms for Bill and Fleur's wedding, a vibrant affair with floating lanterns, enchanted flowers, and guests dancing to lively music. Ron in dress robes looking like he'd rather face a troll. Harry, disguised as a Weasley cousin with a red beard. The celebration peaks with Bill and Fleur's vows, but it's shattered when Kingsley's Patronus, a lynx, bursts in, announcing the Ministry's fall and Scrimgeour's death, urging everyone to flee as Death Eaters attack. Panic ensues, tables overturning, guests apparating away, and Harry, Ron, and Hermione dodge curses, disapparating to Tottenham Court Road, landing amid Muggle chaos as newsstands blare about the minister's demise. The trio realizing the war has truly begun. In a Muggle cafe, Harry, Ron, and Hermione huddle over coffee, debating their next move, destroying Voldemort's Horcruxes, starting with the locket around Hermione's neck from Dumbledore's will. A news report on a Muggle TV shows the Ministry overrun, and Death Eaters spot them through the window, sending a blast that shatters the cafe, forcing a desperate escape. They apparate to Grimmauld Place, Sirius's old headquarters, now dusty and guarded by portraits like Mrs. Black's screaming frame. Using the mirror shard, Harry tries contacting Sirius, but it's useless. They learn the Ministry tracks Muggleborns, prompting a plan to infiltrate using Polyjuice Potion with stolen hairs from Ministry workers. Disguised, they enter via a toilet, navigating a chaotic office with floating memos and a fountain of magical brethren, now defaced with anti-Muggle slogans. Their mission to retrieve the locket from Dolores Umbridge. Inside the Ministry, Harry, Ron, and Hermione, disguised as Reginald Catamole, Albert Runcorn, and Mafalda Hopkirk, navigate a surreal bureaucracy, dodging suspicious co-workers amid floating memos and enchanted lifts. Harry overhears Yaxley, a Death Eater, plotting, while Ron fixes a rain spell for Catamole's wife. They reach Umbridge's office, where she presides over Muggleborn trials, her toad-like face smug as she wears the Horcrux locket. Using a stunning spell, they knock her out, free a Muggleborn, and snatch the locket, but the Polyjuice wears off mid-escape, triggering alarms. They flee through the atrium, battling Yaxley, who grabs Hermione's arm during disapparition, landing in a forest, only to realize they've been followed. The locket's weight now a literal burden as they hide stranded in the Forest of Dean. The trio sets up camp with Hermione's enchanted bag spitting out tents, food, and books, though the cold bites like a Dementor's chill. Harry wears the locket, its cold metal sapping his energy, sparking arguments. Ron's jealousy flares over Hermione's closeness to Harry, and he storms off after a heated row about their plan's futility. Alone, Harry and Hermione struggle with the locket's curse, its whispers of failure haunting them. Hermione teaches Harry wandless magic to light a fire, but their spirits sink as snow falls. A silver doe Patronus appears, leading Harry to a frozen pond where the sword of Gryffindor lies beneath, guarded by the locket. Harry dives in, nearly drowning as the locket strangles him, but Ron returns, saving Harry and destroying the locket with the sword, its scream echoing as black smoke dissipates, their bond mending. The trio decides to visit Godric's Hollow, Harry's birthplace, hoping for clues about the deathly Hallows from Dumbledore's past. They visit Bathilda Bagshot's house, an old friend of Dumbledore's, but it's a trap. Bathilda transforms into Nagini, attacking Harry as Voldemort's voice invades his mind. Hermione saves Harry with a shield charm, disapparating them to safety, though Harry's wand breaks. They realize Voldemort tracked them, and Hermione reads The Tales of Beedle the Bard, uncovering the Deathly Hallows tale, 3 objects granting mastery over death, sparking hope and dread. Later, at a cafe, they're ambushed by Death Eaters, disapparating to a forest where they're captured by Snatchers, including Fenrir Greyback, and taken to Malfoy Manor. In the dungeon, Bellatrix Lestrange tortures Hermione with Cruciatus, screaming about a sword, as Harry and Ron are imprisoned with Luna, Ollivander, and Griphook. Harry summons Aberforth Dumbledore's mirror, and Dobby apparates in to rescue them, disarming Bellatrix and helping them escape. On the beach, Dobby is struck by Bellatrix's knife, dying in Harry's arms as they bury him, marking a heartbreaking loss that steels their resolve for the fight ahead.